What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out Nordic Air Force F-35, F-16, F-18, and JAS-39. Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. This is the Nordic Air Force. This is this new joint air force that these Nordic countries are doing. Very interesting. It's 4 different countries. I want to know everything that they're doing. I want to know all their capabilities. I want to know what they've got and how they're using it. This is by pilot Photo G. Is that how you say it? I will leave a link, like I always do. If you want to watch these videos without me talking over the top of them, you can certainly do that in the description down below, okay? Go over there. It'll be the first line in the description. Go and check it out. But let's watch this. Let's learn what it's all about. This is incredibly important now that Sweden and Finland have joined NATO. This is huge for NATO, especially being right on that Russian border, right next to the sea there as well, Baltic Sea. So let's watch it. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's learn some stuff along the way, okay? Let's go.
Take a look at how 4
Oh my God, blow my ears off. Christ almighty on a bike.
Nordic nations have established a unified air force, and how these 4 fighters made this possible.
Photo G
On
or
March
Photog?
24th, the air forces of Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway announced an agreement to operate their combined forces of over 200 fighter planes as a unified Nordic air defense force.
What a great idea.
First.
What an absolutely fantastic idea on their part, especially with what's going on in Ukraine.
Between these countries, and was ratified via a joint declaration of intent, or JDI, on March 16th at Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany. United States Air Force General James Hecker, who is also the head of NATO Air Command, was present for the signing. Today, we will take a look at what this means for the region, what fighter planes comprise this newly formed air force, and what each jet brings to the table in terms of operational capability.
I don't know whether this video will go into it, but we do need to preface this that Finland have ordered quite a few F-35s as well. So just remember that as well while we watch this.
The decision to unite the air forces of 4 nations under one command carries with it the ultimate goal of being able to operate seamlessly together as one force. This newly formed air force rivals that of a large European nation in numbers.
Yeah.
And command and control is to be established by developing a Nordic concept for combined air operations, which will be based on an already known and established NATO methodology.
Great idea for them.
It is important to point out that when this agreement was reached, Finland and Sweden were not yet part of NATO. However, on April 3rd, Finland became the 31st member of NATO, and as of this recording, Sweden is expected to formally become a member soon.
They became a member. They have become officially a member of NATO, so there you go.
So the question is, if all 4 nations are or will soon become part of NATO, why the need for a seemingly separate Nordic Air Force? There are actually 4 reasons that have been cited in the document which was shared following the agreement. First, combining the Nordic Air Forces allows for integrated operations, planning, and execution.
Again, I say this in all my videos, information is key. It is so important, and the more they work together, which is all this is, it's them officially saying we're all going to work together consistently now. The more they work together is the more information that's shared. That's it.
This makes sense since the operating environments and conditions are very similar in the 4 countries involved. Secondly, the alliance allows for flexible and resilient air basing.
Yeah.
Meaning runways and maintenance facilities can be used by the partner nations more openly.
It's a great idea.
Then there's the third factor, shared situational awareness. It's hard to imagine, but prior to this agreement, each of the 4 nations had to conduct their intelligence assessments and tracking of aircraft independently. The new agreement creates a common contiguous defense zone that essentially covers the Baltic Sea. And finally, the 4th reason stated is an allowance for common air education, training, and exercises to be held.
I've talked about that in previous stuff with my experience being in the Royal Marines Commandos. You do exercises with other militaries, and it's to help not only you hone in your skills, but it's to share information. Oh, what are you doing there with that CQB thing? Why are you doing this instead? Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you do this? Because we do this. Oh my God, yeah, that's a great idea. It's information shared, and you all kind of boost each other up as a whole. I think it's really important.
Allowing crews to cross-train and mutually support each other's forces. Alright, now let's get into the aircraft specifics for each of the 4 nations involved and what each platform brings to the newly formed alliance. Starting with Norway, who had been operating the Lockheed Martin F-16 Fighting Falcon up until 2022, which has been replaced by the
Up until 2022.
Lockheed Martin F-35A Lightning. Norway has over 50 F-35s and is one of the early adopters of the Lightning.
So did they get rid of the Did they get rid of them then? Or did they completely replace them? It makes sense because you've got to maintain them. They probably went back to America somewhere, didn't they?
Having acquired their first F-35s all the way back in 2017. In fact, Norway was the fourth country to acquire the Lightning after the United States, Israel, and Italy.
Didn't know that.
The F-35 is without a doubt the most numerous and successful fifth-generation stealth fighter, with some 900 examples delivered and over 600,000 flight hours logged on the global fleet.
Wow.
Additionally, the Lightning has also won several high-profile fighter competitions. More on that later. As to what the Lightning brings to the table, we can start with sensor fusion and an airborne command node. Along with stealth or low observability, the F-35 was designed to integrate and leverage Allied air assets and air defenses.
We've talked about this previously. There was actually the HIMARS. Is it HIMARS? Is that what it was? I forgot. We did a video on it on Monday. They successfully had them both communicate through the computer. So the F-35 was able to pinpoint somewhere and fire the HIMARS remotely or something like that. So the communication between all this stuff and this open network between all of them is crazy and very, very intelligent.
This integration is so thorough that the F-35 has been often referred to as a quarterback in the sky, capable of directing assets and reading the enemy signals to plan its next moves.
Yeah.
The F-35 also makes use of a distributed aperture system, or DAS, which provides 360-degree spherical situational awareness via cameras and sensors placed throughout the aircraft.
So cool.
Additionally, the F-35's fleet is being upgraded to the Block 4 standard, which, among many things, include numerous improvements in computational power, avionics, new weapon options, and even a more powerful radar that can detect and track targets at much longer ranges than today. I've done an entire video on the F-35's upgraded radar. I'll leave a link in the description below.
I haven't watched any of this channel's videos before. Please go over and give them a like and subscribe, because this information they're giving right now is very, very good. Maybe we'll watch that other one later. But yeah, please go over to their channel and give it a like and subscribe. Very important that you do that.
Given the F-35's current and planned capabilities, along with its lowering per unit cost, we can begin to see why the Lightning has won virtually every fighter procurement competition it has entered, including those for Finland and Switzerland. Moving on to the next partner in the Nordic Air Defense Agreement, Denmark, which currently operates over 40 F-16s with 27 F-35s on order.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that now, if I'm honest with you. I'm pretty sure I just watched a video that it was like upwards of 60, but I may be wrong. Someone will quote it, someone will put it in the comment section, I'm sure. But again, the F-35s that these have got are going to communicate with all the other F-35s no matter what country they're from, so this is really, really good.
The F-16 Fighting Falcon, or Viper, is a fourth-generation fighter which was initially designed as a day air superiority fighter. However, throughout its long and storied career, the F-16 evolved into a true multi-role platform, implementing the first use of relaxed static stability or fly-by-wire flight control system. The F-16 is an agile aircraft and an excellent dogfighter. With over 4,500 examples built, the F-16 is the world's most numerous and combat-proven fourth-generation fighter.
Still a very good aircraft. Just think how good this aircraft is, and it's getting replaced. That is absolutely bizarre, isn't it? Like, think about how good this aircraft is. We've done videos on it in the past, and it's getting replaced. It just shows how good the F-35 is.
Although the F-16 is a non-stealth platform, it features low operating costs, high reliability or mission-capable rates, and mission flexibility in both air-to-air and air-to-ground roles. Denmark's F-16s are an excellent placeholder as their new F-35s are delivered and become operational. Next, we turn to Finland, who is currently operating some 50 F-8...
Oh, I was talking about Finland when I said that they've got upwards of 60. Sorry, I mixed it up then. Yeah. Finland have ordered I'm pretty sure around 60 F-35s, but we might talk about it in this video.
18Cs, with 64 F-35s on order.
64, there you go,
the
yeah.
F-16, the F-18, or Hornet.
So, I want to just preface that earlier in the video, which other country was it? The previous country. the ones who have the F-16s, they've probably already ordered 30 or whatever it is of F-35s, but it was Finland that I was talking about that have ordered around 60. So yeah, just want to preface that. But it's also really big that all these countries are ordering F-35s, which again just goes into what he said at the beginning of this video with the comms, right? Like if someone pings something and it's a Swedish F-35, right? And they ping something and they know that Finland are nearby doing a training exercise and they're flying F-35s as well, it's only going to help. Integration is only going to... It's kind of like... Do you know what it's kind of like? It's like when you have like an Apple iPhone and you're like, oh, but I want the iMac because the software all communicates with each other. Oh, but I also want an Apple Watch because it communicates with everything. Do you know what I mean? It's I don't know if it's the same, but that's the kind of similarity that I'm getting, that this similar type of hardware communicates more easily and can share information quicker, easily. So having that between these countries are going to be vital.
It is a multi-role fighter. However, unlike the F-16, the Hornet was designed for carrier operations and features an arresting hook, folding wings, and landing gear specifically designed to operate off of carriers. Finland's Hornets are land-based, and while also a non-stealthy 4th-generation fighter, the F-18 is a combat-proven platform with relatively high mission-capable rates. Moreover, since Finland shares a land border with Russia, Finnish Hornets have extensive experience flying near the border and likely tracking Russian aircraft that are in proximity to their mutual border. Still, the Finnish Hornets are nearing the end of their service lives, which is one reason that Finland has placed the largest order for new F-35s of the 4 Nordic countries.
I wonder when they're going to get all of them.
And last but certainly not least is Sweden, which finds itself in a unique position. While Norway, Denmark, and Finland are all moving to the F-35, Sweden is opting for the latest version of the Gripen, the JAS-39E. Aside from being an excellent aircraft, the Gripen is also designed and manufactured in Sweden.
So they're going for their own aircraft. That's very interesting. Very interesting. I'm wondering if the information sharing between these and the F-35s is going to be well enough. At the end of the day, like if it was an emergency and they had to get information to another country, it would go to the base anyway first, and then they would relay it, I'm sure. But yeah, or they would just go near any aircraft in the sky if they wanted to communicate and just get on comms with them. But yeah, very interesting how they decided to go for their own stuff.
The Gripen is an extremely reliable, low-cost-to-operate, multi-role fighter designed specifically to operate in the harsh Nordic environment. Today, Sweden operates about 70 of their C and D models, which are powered by a Volvo RM12 engine.
Wow.
A license-built version of the GE F404 engine, similar to those found in legacy Hornets, such as the ones operated by Finland. The vastly improved E model of the Gripen will be powered by a General Electric RM16, which is similar to the F414 engines found on the Super Hornet. The E version will also feature advanced avionics and electronic countermeasures, which should provide an offset to the Gripen airframe's 4th-generation design.
Very interesting looking aircraft. Maybe we can do a video on the JAS-39. If you want to see me do a video of them in the near future, let me know in the comment section, okay?
In terms of the Nordic Alliance, the C and D versions will likely be used in similar ways that the 4th-generation F-16s and F-18s are used, while the E version of the Gripen will likely be deployed in roles that are more aligned to the F-35's tasking.
It's kind of like a mix between an F-18 and a Eurofighter, just like the way the wings are. They're very far back, and they've got that extra fin up top. It's kind of like similar to like the Eurofighter in a way, isn't it?
Providing advanced detection along with command and control capabilities in a fighter-sized airframe.
People are going to be laughing at me in the comments.
The formation of a unified Nordic Air Force is a direct response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine last year. In terms of deterring and potentially combating Russian aggression, this significant agreement has the potential to benefit all parties involved.
Yeah.
While each Air Force brings unique capabilities to the table, they also share many similarities beyond their proximity. Collaborating would enhance the effectiveness and potency of air defense tasks and aerial surveillance, as well as providing greater flexibility and unpredictability in war planning.
Yeah, again, I think the biggest thing about this is just information. Not only are, Finland are allowed to land in Sweden if they really needed to, and vice versa, and not only are they able to move between these different countries much easier now, the communication and information is what is most important in my opinion.
In today's era of multifaceted aerial threats, ranging from traditional fixed-wing aircraft like fighters and bombers to low-altitude cruise missiles, swarms of drones, and even hypersonic weapons. Pooling resources for air defense makes more sense than pursuing an independent approach. This holds true from both a strategic and economic standpoint, particularly when confronting a common enemy with a potentially larger force.
Jesus Christ, I thought I was going way too quick to him in that video. Do you see that? I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? What?
Common enemy with
Let's
a
just
potentially
speed it
larger
up.
force. What do you think? Is the formation of a Nordic Air Force a good idea?
Yes.
How does NATO fit into this overall setup? Let me know in the
How
comments
does
below.
NATO fit into this?
If you enjoyed this video and want to see how the F-35 won so many fighter competitions, you'll want to check out the videos in the playlist I've made. Click
There
or
you go.
tap the thumbnail on your screen right now to watch the first video in the series.
You can go over there to his channel and check that out if you want. Really, really good video. Very good information in there. I think this just helps more with NATO in general. It's more comms, more communication, more places to move NATO troops around, which is very important. We know that there probably is or already has been talks with NATO bases being put in Finland, right on that border next to Russia. Are some of them going to have airstrips on them? Quite possibly, which means that some of these aircraft are going to be moving about. Which means if there is a base in Finland right near the border and Sweden are like, we're going to come pay a visit on a training exercise, they can land there. It's massive. It is massive. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts, and we'll see where this goes, shall we? Other than that, I love you all. I'll see you in tomorrow's videos. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.